everyone, welcome to my channel, The Magical Maven. My name is Heather, and today is a general reading for the sign of Aquarius, whether this is your sun, moon, Venus, or rising sign. This is for December 2019. However, it is a timeless reading, so whenever you are drawn to this reading is when you were meant to hear it. It is a collective reading, so not everything might resonate, so just take what does. Also, the energies could be past, present, future, so it doesn't necessarily have to be within the time frame. Also, as a note, I don't read reversals. I go by intuition. So whatever thoughts come to me is what I say, and I say it exactly how I'm receiving the message, even if something sounds weird. And also, I do want to let you know, as I go to each placement, these are all for the houses of the zodiac, and I do have a bonus card underneath the Aquarius card. So right now they're all facing me, but as I go to each house, I will face them towards you and the camera. I do have a clarification card for each that I have not seen yet. And once I do the 12 houses, the bonus card, we'll also look at some oracle cards I chose for you from the Blessed Bee Oracle deck to see what your blessing coming in is, as well as a few tea leaf reading cards. I will be doing an extended reading, so if you are interested in that, the details will be in the description box below, where I'll further use the Gilded Tarot, which is this deck here, as well as the Heal Yourself Oracle cards, the Magical Mermaids and Dolphins, Angel Answers, and Romance Angels. Okay, so jumping in, your first house of self, we have the King of Cups, followed by the Four of Pentacles. So as soon as I saw this card, I heard stingy, because, you know, look how he's really holding on to these pentacles. And the King of Cups, the king doesn't have to be a man, woman. And Aquarius, even though people have the misconception sometimes that Aquarius is a water sign because the symbol is the water bearer. However, the Aquarius is actually an air sign. And so Aquarius is more of an emotionally detached sign. They're, you know, normally Aquarians or someone who has Aquarius in their chart, depending on where this placement is, aren't really emotionally open. You know, they're very detached. They're more rooted in intellect. So this could be, you know, stingy with your feelings. You know, maybe there's someone who's wanting more out of you and you're like, nuh-uh. So you have to take what resonates. But for some of you, you might be holding things very close to the chest here. And also you could be holding on to outworn emotions is something I'm getting as well. So for some of you, it's regarding others are wanting something from you, emotions, time, energy, focus even, and you're like, nope. And maybe for some of you, this is a form of self-care where you're knowing, okay, in some cases it's all right to be stingy because, you know, your energy, it's so important. You know, you have to take care of yourself first before you could help anyone else. So for some of you, this isn't a bad thing. Again, you have to take what resonates. For some of you, you could be stingy with your feelings. You're not wanting to show up in a certain way. And for some of you, you're not wanting to let go of certain things. So again, just take what resonates. We have the second house of finances. We have the High Priestess, followed by the King of Pentacles. Okay, so I feel I'm getting the words creative direction. So some of you might have been following through on something that it's weird because I'm getting intimately connected with. So it could be something creative or something that you're creating. And this is something where you've been guided to, something that you've been wanting to do, you know, with the powers of intuition, but it's something that could really pan off for you, that could be a success. And for some of you, you might already be profiting from this if this is something you've already been working on. And for those of you who are like, oh, I'm not in a creative endeavor, you know, I don't really consider myself intuitive, still I'm getting that intuitively you've been guided for the steps to take towards your success, your business success, your finances. And also, I'm getting what makes you whole, because the second house also deals with worth, and that includes self-worth. Worth isn't just financial. So make sure, you're using that intuition, and I'm getting like the words like game strong. So it might be just honing in on that intuition to make sure that you are moving forward with, you know, as planned with what you're wanting and knowing what's a right fit for you is what I'm getting. Your third house of communication, we have the Moon followed by the Chariot. So two majors showing up in your communications. So I'm getting if you've had any delays, things are going to start moving forward. I'm also getting some miscommunications. You know, we did just more recently come out of a Mercury in retrograde. Again, it depends when you're watching this. Today's, I think, November 29th. So, but yeah, definitely there could be, and then also Neptune just went direct as well. So definitely these retrograde planets that now are direct, there could have been things that happened during that time period. Again, like this, even if you're watching this at a later date, I'm still getting that there was some delays in communication, miscommunications, but now things are going to start moving forward. And I'm hearing put your best foot forward. Okay, 4th house of home and family, we have Lovers, followed by the 6 of Pentacles. Okay, so for some of you, you could already be living with a romantic partner, significant other. You're in a relationship, and I'm hearing duo. So for some of you, this could be, you know, making that decision to move in with someone. And this doesn't necessarily have to be romantic, because the Lovers isn't always about just, you know, the physical love. Sometimes this is also about making a choice. So some of you may be making a choice to move in with someone. So, you know, that could be a simple, some of you, it could be a simple change. It's not like a huge shakeup in your world is something that I'm getting, but I think this is ultimately a positive thing. So again, you already, you know, do live with someone. This could be a romantic partner, or you could be choosing to, I'm also getting for some of you, this is like going to happen down the road. You might be planning for this together. You might have had talks of this, but it hasn't come into fruition yet. So again, you just have to take what resonates, and yeah, anything that's not clarified, you know, with doing the extended reading, we're going to go deeper. So anything that's not answered in here, we'll see, you know, what comes up in the extended. Okay, your 5th house of casual romance, dating, creativity, children, you have the 9 of Pentacles, followed by the Wheel of Fortune. So I'm getting for some of you, you need to put yourself out there more if you do wish to date, because the 9 of Pentacles is my single independent woman or single independent man card. Again, you know, just because there's a woman depicted doesn't mean that it's, you know, has to be a female. But for some of you, if you've been, okay, I'm getting a coming out of a time, you know, if you have been single for a while, things could change, you know, with the Wheel of Fortune, you know, like a pendulum, things swing one way and then at some point they have to swing back the other way, right? So for some of you, you might be coming out of your singledom, you know, meaning that you could have been single for a while and then there might be some change that is happening. Again, this is regarding casual romance and dating. So it just might be making the decision to get back out there. And I'm getting like, yeah, get back on the horse. And so for some of you, this is a factor that's coming into play. Vice versa, this another alternate, you know, meaning for some of you, if you had been in a relationship, if for those of you who have gotten out of one, maybe some of you are now swinging in this more single independent energy. However, Aquarius is normally a very independent, it's like one of the most independent signs. You know, Aquarius doesn't need a relationship. So, you know, I got for the most of you, it was more about being in the single energy than vice versa. But again, like sometimes the energies could be the opposite. So just take what resonates. Okay, also I'm getting for those of you in creative fields, like with what I said, you know, before about this creative direction I was picking up in your 2nd house. For some of you, it's, okay, I'm hearing fluid, you know, maybe now creative wise, you'll be in a more fluid time, you'll gain your momentum back. And then, you know, it's like, I'm getting like the wheels spinning. So maybe your wheels will start spinning regarding your creativity and things will be fluid again. If any of you have reached a lull regarding your creative pursuits or what you're trying to work on or achieve. The 6th house of work, health, routine, we have the Emperor followed by the 5 of Cups. Okay, I'm hearing headstrong right now. So some of you might have not achieved or have received what you've been wanting. You haven't gotten what you have wanted. And this has caused, you know, this sadness, you know, this feeling. And I'm even hearing the word repel. So if you feel things aren't moving like something's happening regarding your work life and you feel like, it's interesting, I got the word repel. So if things aren't going right, because you might be not, you might not be in alignment with receiving, because we all have a feminine side and a masculine side. So the Emperor is obviously the masculine. So when we're two in our masculine energy, we're the one that's giving, we're the one that's action oriented, we're rooted in logic. However, the feminine energy is the one that receives. So if you feel you were repelling, like in the workplace or within your work, or, some aspect of your life, even, I'm even hearing dealings with people. It might be because you are too much in this dominant role and you are not open to receiving anything. Like you are pushing too much as opposed to like allowing and letting things be, and also being open to receiving. I'm also getting that you could be too hard on yourself. Again, with this headstrong energy. And I just go by what I'm getting from the cards. That's not always what, the Emperor means. But I think for some of you, you are too hard on yourself. And this is where I'm getting also a lack of focus, because then you're too hard on yourself. And then you start swimming in these waters of sadness because, you're too focused on what you haven't gained or you haven't gained yet. So, be more compassionate with yourself. Give yourself that loving, nurturing energy, hone in on your inner feminine, and be loving and kind and compassionate towards yourself. And I was getting that hearing I'm not doing enough. So if you're feeling that way, again, it's like if you're doing all you can, then you can't, again, have compassion with yourself. If it's a matter of restructuring your routine so you feel that you can do more and be at your most optimal and productive. However, again, it's like by choosing to, okay, I'm getting pity party right now. And it's, again, I'm just going by what I get and I'm just trying to help you all. So instead of being sad about things or, that doom and gloom or just getting down on yourself, what can you do to change things for the better so you are feeling better? Like doing things in a healthier way is what I'm getting. And that's part of your routine in itself. Okay, the 7th house of marriage, partnerships, relationships. We have the Ace of Swords and the 7 of Pentacles. So some of you do have a relationship coming and I was getting the long term, meaning this still could be like a long ways away. There might just be like, you might meet someone coming up and then later down the road, you might give it a go, or this is something that will be, long term, once you get together. But again, like I feel like I'm getting you need like a healthy shakeup. And I'm also hearing wake up as well. So for some of you, if you have, I'm also hearing let yourself go. So I don't know if some of you do feel like you've let yourself go in some aspect, or you let yourself go of some person. Again, take what resonates, because everyone's going to have a different situation. However, with this Ace of Swords, there is a new beginning. However, it's going to take some time to develop. And I think it's because also some of you aren't necessarily ready for this. And also your person might be someone that possibly takes their time. Okay. And this doesn't have to resonate for all of you, but some of you could be maybe attracting with an earth sign, or someone with earth in their chart, or that acts like an earth sign, and then you're the heir. Okay, so your 8th house, which is sex, death, taxes, inheritances, other people's money, the occult. You have the Hanged Man, followed by the Fool. Okay, so I'm taking this in regards of a death, but like an ego death, or death is really about change. It's not about physical death. And so the Hanged Man is card 12, and then death is 13, in what is called the Fool's Journey, which is the major arcana cards, which starts with the Fool, ends with the World. So you were in this period of transition, or or suspension or pause, because there's something that you're still needing to see or let go of. And I'm also, getting definitely let go. Like, it's like you have to allow yourself to fall. Like, like with these chains, like once the chains come undone, he falls. And some people might be obviously, falling out of the sky. Yeah, that's scary, but it's kind of like you might feel like without a safety net, but this is actually going to give you freedom and power. And I mean personal power, not like power over others. And once you ride out this period of suspension, of things being a pause, you see what you need to see, you take your lessons that you need to, and then you free your, once this chain comes undone. Because with the Hanged Man, normally this is like with divine intervention in a sense. Like things are put on pause because the universe is waiting for you to do what you need to do on your end before things can move forward to that next step, which is the Death card, which is an ending. But then with the ending, there's always a beginning. So there is a change up front for you. And with this Fool, it's this new beginning. However, you're not there yet. So if you're like, when are things going to change? Well, that's also dependent on you. And definitely, your mindset and what you need to free yourself and let go of. Okay, the 9th house of travel and education. You have the 7 of Wands, followed by the Empress. Okay, so for some of you, it was interesting because like the Empress could sometimes, each card has different associations, but right now I was hearing like Mommy Dearest. So some of you could be traveling to see your mom or a mother or maternal figure. However, with that Mommy Dearest comment, as well as the 7 of Wands, this could be someone that you butt heads with, that things aren't, there could be some conflict there. And some of it could be petty conflict. It doesn't have to be this huge thing, but maybe it's just, again, the Mommy Dearest thing was something that stood out. And again, this isn't for everybody. This is just, for those who resonate, take with it what you will. However, if this doesn't resonate, then leave it. Also, I'm getting, okay, that's something too. If this Mommy Dearest comment resonates with you, but you're not actually physically going to see her or travel to her, this could be, regarding the house of education, this is like lessons, the school of life. There might be some kind of conflicts or things you have to maybe resolve with her, or maybe there's things that you get from her, or there's, because even if you don't have conflict with her personally, we all take on our family's, karma and DNA. So if there's been any trauma along our family lines, everyone's going to feel that until someone heals it within the family, so that ancestral healing is needed. And most likely it's regarding your mom or your mother's side. And it's interesting because I swear this came up for another sign, but I don't remember which one it was because I shot most of the other signs a while ago and then I was sick. So I can't remember which one it is, but check out your other placements, your Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising, because there's a chance that maybe one of those signs will resonate with you and you'll get that message in that other reading. I don't know if it was Libra or not. No, it might have been before that. Okay, I can't remember. Okay, but anyways, this is something coming through too. So if you're not actually going to travel, this could be some lessons, some healing that is needed, this growth of resolving whether things with her, someone on your mom's side, or, something within the family line. And sometimes, we're not, most times we're not conscious of these things. It's like, if you are unsure of like, okay, why do I keep having this issue come up? And you can't find how it relates to you in this life. It could be something within your family or ancestral line, or it could be past life. But for you, again, I was getting more of the ancestral. So that might be something you wish to look into deeper for clarity. With the 10th house of career, you have the 6 of Cups and 10 of Swords. For some of you, something that you've always wanted to maybe do, maybe when you were a kid or when you were younger. So this doesn't even have to be when you were a kid. It could just be when you were younger. So, if you're in your 30s, this could be, when you're in your 20s or 18 or, take what resonates. But there might be some kind of, I'm getting stall that had happened and you like, I feel some of you maybe have accepted this defeat. For some of you, even this early defeat. Because in this card, if you really look at it, the swords are above him. They're not actually all in his back. I mean, yeah, this one here looks kind of like but it's not actually going into him. It's like above him. So it's interesting how different decks look differently. So for some of you, you don't even have these swords in your back. It could just be this perceived lack is what I'm getting. So don't give up on your dreams just yet. And even if this isn't something that was from a while ago, like a childhood dream or a dream when you were younger, this could just be like you getting back to that childlike mentality and wonder. And also, I think this came up in another reading. God, I don't remember what sign it was. It was either Scorpio, Sagittarius, or Capricorn. It was yesterday when I did those readings, and this came up for one of those signs. So again, if you have those placements in your chart, you want to check it out. But with this childlike wonder, you might have lost that, your imagination or your joy for doing things, for your career even. And this is where you're feeling down and out, But however, even though this card, looks dismal, it's not, because like I said, again, the swords aren't actually in his back. It's like, and then also tens always represent completion. So this is an ending, and you could choose to move on to your beginning. But you have to kind of maintain, regain as well as maintain this joy, this passion for living, this passion for your career. And for some of you, it's like you haven't had this recently or haven't had this in a while. And this is why you feel stalled or things have reached a dead end, because you need to reclaim what you feel you have lost. Okay, the 11th house of friends, groups, acquaintances, social interactions, dreams, hopes, aspirations. We have Judgment and 5 of Swords. Okay, I'm getting like something about bitter, maybe bitter words, maybe some kind of betrayal. And I know betrayal sounds harsh. It might not even actually be a betrayal, but there could be someone around you that you socialize with, that you're friends with, that could have been like some kind of fight or argument. Maybe you're I'm getting regrouping or rethinking whether, you want this person in your life or not. Maybe you're taking that mental stock of, who should be in my life and who shouldn't, or who doesn't need to be, because, this isn't cold when I say this. It's, sometimes we have people in our life for a certain time frame or a certain lesson, and then, we have to kind of let go and move on if they don't really serve a place in our life. And again, like, it's not to say, that they're a bad person or they didn't mean something to us. However, sometimes there are certain friendships and relationships that do come and go, and we're kind of holding ourselves back if we're staying in these, these obligations, so if it doesn't feel good, if being around someone or talking to someone doesn't feel good, chances are, and you're keeping them around, it's like you're keeping yourself stuck and both of you stuck, because you could both be moving on to, and I don't want to say, I'm getting bigger and brighter, bigger, better things, and not to say that, but it's just, you might not be in alignment with each other anymore. And yeah, I'm getting like conflict isn't easy, and not to say that if you just have a fight with someone, you cut them off, but I'm getting that for some of you, like maybe you do need to do some weeding out within your social life or social circle or who you spend your time with. Because yeah, I'm getting you need to redirect your focus. And, if you're not around people that you're in alignment with, or people are negative, that's really hard for you to maintain your focus, right? Okay, so the 12th house, so what's hidden, what's unknown, what you need to be aware of. We have the Queen of Swords and the Devil. So the Queen of Swords I'm getting as your energy. This Swords is air energy. So again, whether you're female or male watching this, it's just, it doesn't have to mean a female just because the Queen of Wands. Queen of Swords. The wands resonate with the fire, and I'm, was looking at the fire here. So for some of you, it's like, I'm hearing uphill battle. So for some of you, you're trying to get a hold of some of your deeper issues, maybe some resentment, maybe your shadow self, maybe some codependency, maybe some of your own toxic traits, because we all have our shadow selves, right? We all have things that we need to work on to better improve ourselves, right? And this is all of us. And again, this could go also some back to this ancestral healing, but it's like there's certain piece of you within yourself, and it's like you're needing to reign control over these things, whether they're habits. And I'm hearing co-create peacefully. So I feel like you might, if you feel like an inner war is raging on within you, and again, this could be resentment, anger, frustration, whatever, is going on with you, and you are needing to get a hold of yourself. And for some of you, this is about your headspace, like your mental energy, your mind, your thinking mind. So if any of you have anxiety or anything like that, for some of you, this also, again, this could go back to some anger. And for some of you, you might not have expressed that anger. And if you do have anger, you do need to express it in a healthy way. And I'm not saying pop off on people. I'm saying that there's a way you need to deal with things. So this could be also something that, again, take what resonates. There's different scenarios coming in. But you're not going to, if you just disregard your issues or things that are going on within you, it's like they're going to have control over you. So it's like you need to control yourself, if that makes sense, and control your mind. Okay, so the bottom of the deck, you actually got was Temperance. So yeah, this balance. So I think for some of you, you are out of balance, and it's like this is where you're needing to, again, master that control. Because this is the card of, balance, patience, and yeah, so yeah, definitely trying to master that. Oh, and then I just remembered I need to do your bonus card as well. Okay, so your bonus card was the Nine of Cups. This is like the wish fulfillment card. And then you have the Three of Wands. So some of you are going to receive notice of receiving something or gaining something that you've been wanting. Again, for some of you, it's a long time coming because look how he's looking for his ship to come in. So anything you've been waiting on, there's going to be something coming into fruition to you that is what you've been wanting. And I'm hearing excel. So this could be something very well in your business or, some kind of pursuit that you have. Again, it's not limited to just that. It's just that was something that did come through right away. But again, it's this is a, positive that you are going to receive some kind of, I keep getting the word notice of something that you've been wanting. Okay, and then we have your blessing cards. So the first card, that was a blessing on a journey. So it's interesting if you have, if you're on the cusp of Capricorn, Aquarius, have Capricorn in your chart. The message of journey did come through a couple times in that reading as well. And we also have a blessing for unity where once there was division, because I was looking for a clarification. So it's interesting because I got the message where two roads meet. And it was interesting because yesterday in all three readings, the Scorpio, Sagittarius, and Capricorn, I kept getting this thing about these two roads. And in two of them, the Two of Wands card did come out, but I kept hearing this two paths and having to make a choice. So I think that's really must be coming through for people. But it's interesting because your message was where two roads meet. It wasn't about choosing one or the other. Yours is where two roads are going to be meeting. So I found that very interesting that this came up while I was pulling these blessing cards for you. And I wrote that down because I didn't want to forget, because messages will quickly come in for me and then I'll forget them. So I need to say them when I get them. So, and again, if you had any of those signs in your chart, you might want to check it out. But yours message was where two roads meet. So with this journey, it's interesting with roads, journey, and then a blessing where there once was division. So again, for some of you could be traveling to, that mom, the maternal figure. And again, it doesn't, for some of you, it could be a feminine, a divine feminine even, or a female counterpart, or if it's a male who has, is more in touch with his feminine energy even. And this is maybe where the journey is coming in, and a, unity where, where there was division before. For some of you, it's, so whoever that person was, for some of you, that blessing is regarding that ninth house that had come up. For some of you, this is about this blessing of unity within yourself. Like I said, with this Temperance card, as well as, the Queen of Swords here with the Devil card, you know, mastering, you know, your mind, your emotions, coming into balance within yourself and having this unity. So this journey is actually about a self journey, a journey within that you're doing for some of you. Again, take what resonates because there's different messages coming through. Okay, and now we're going to look at your tea leaf reading cards before moving on to the extended reading. Okay, so let's see. You had the Bowl, plenty of material things. I think this came out for Sagittarius, actually. So yeah, so you do have, you know, for those of you maybe worried about things financially, it does show like you gaining things materially. Again, like you make sure if any of you are having issues financially, that you are listening and honing in on that intuition. We have the Bell announcement. Again, for some of you, that announcement, that notice was what I said, like you gaining something you've been wanting, that you've been waiting for. Let's see. We have the Torch, spiritual development, enlightenment, awareness, and understanding. So like I said, for some of you, this is about this union within yourself. This is about being able to have control and mastery over yourself. And this is this torch. This is this flame. So for some of you, even like with that Devil energy, it's like controlling and harnessing that energy. You know, it's like that alchemical process. You know, maybe look up the violet flame of transmutation. You know, it's like taking, you know, that darkness and turning that darkness into light, turning that pain into power, that pain into love. And again, when I say power, I mean, you know, personal power. And then also you have the Eagle, triumph over troubles and obstacles. So that's very beautiful that you, at the end of this, you have the Eagle, like you soaring. Okay, so that is your reading, Aquarius. And again, the details for the extended will be in the description box below. And if you like this video, if it resonated, feel free to like, comment, share, subscribe to my channel, The Magical Maven, as well as follow me on Instagram, The Magical Maven. And I send you all love and light.